Alright.
3, 2, 1, go!
It's me, Mario!
Thanks for the Aquatic one.
Okie dokie.
Right, Maria. Maria.
So we're starting off immediately by going from MIPS, and then I believe the route goes into Slide.
You didn't say that. Start.
Very funny level. It famously has the meme that it now has the metal cap switch after Crash forgot to put it here in the first version, which made the first version impossible because you need it for B1, which was just which was a pretty good meme. So now awkwardly you have to go to get metal cap here. Crash is an incredibly good hack designer, which is why he turned a stage that everyone despised into a stage that everyone hates. So it's a massive improvement, but wow, this is a stage.
This stage. Well, let's reread the intro real quick. So this is 10 years after. This is a hack made early last year. It's by Crash, and it's a tribute to the 10-year anniversary of 74. Tala's going to be doing 120 star, which is the ISC category, the intended amount of stars to beat the game. No major skips are going to be used. We're not like whipping into the final boss or anything. And this is on the Deluxe Edition, which is the newest major version. And it was released exactly on the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, shout out so much to Crash, who was originally meant to race this, even though he couldn't make it just absolute legend. I mean, he made this hack, which in my opinion is hack of the year. He made the hack that, if it wasn't for this hack, I would call hack of the year, and then on top of that, he's an incredible speedrunner. He worked really hard for the race, and just an incredible guy.
Oh.
So yeah, Side Star is pretty broken. I think like as long as you can ride everything here is pretty quick, so you just grind these out.
Right, and after this slide stage, we are going to be heading over to course 1.
You're not seeing my screen, you're watching it. You should share the screen.
Pluto, no need to bully Maria in the chat.
I am a famously pristine sleep schedule. I always famously go to bed at 8 PM, wake up at 5 AM with like the call of a rooster.
Although if you did want to bully Maria, this is your opportunity.
I'm not sure if anyone would bully me when they have Durfine around. Oh, that is a painful death. Not that far in, so hopefully it's easy to recover after that. Yeah, that's why.
I'm sharing on.
This is the very finicky stage.
Sharing on Discord if you want to see with less delay.
Alright, I'm watching. Right, that triangle is a little bit weird. It's one of the few triangles on the entire slide that's not sloped, which means you can just kind of stand on it and turn around like Tala did there. Quick little skip.
Also, GMD, just for you, I'm gonna stay up until 10 AM.
Oof.
But yeah, Red Sierra is definitely one of the harder stars in the run. Probably Slide here is famously a very gimmicky stage. It does a lot of rough collision and very awkward jumps, which is why the original stage is also fairly disliked. It's actually fairly bold to go for it in 120, but it is very quick. But it is like better. It's a quick start. Things line up. GMD, please do not elaborate about what kind of soup you're making after last time. Oh, immediately posted.
I prefer a little fizz in my soup.
That's the third time. Wait.
This section is brutal.
Yeah, the jump's incredibly awkward. Amber. I mean, casually is casually, but I spent like 2 hours dying to the thing when I originally went to the start.
Same. Oh. Okay. Good start.
Yeah, Irfan, GMD once reheated soup in the middle of one of my streams. The soup is apparently carbonated, which is somehow only like the 7th most disgusting thing that GMD said that stream. Gosh, those were the days.
Fortunate as it is, this is a really brutal level to start a run on, so it could be a little bit of a reset factory.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Crash goes for meds here. I know that there's some like significant like run deviations, which I actually have a couple of Crash's runs, so I don't think able to highlight them as we continue. And here comes the big jumps.
They don't have the red. Okay.
Good back up.
Nice. Okay, we're getting another attempt. Let's go. Also, wait, am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
Also, fuck you,
A
Blocky.
bit.
Wow, you hard to call out viewers like that. That's kind of true, though.
Okay.
Alright.
But yeah, we're out of... Sorry, go on.
We are out of slide now. We should be moving on to course 1, which is a remake of the stage Dice Fortress, or Devil's Dice in EE.
Yeah, thankfully, course 1 is a lot more straightforward, so hopefully we'll give a chance to get more into it. I know that Tala goes for all 7 stars here, which makes sense. It's definitely one of the safer courses. But Crash, I think, only goes for 5 here, which shows a big deviation in the paths that they usually take.
I will drop a little bit of lore here. One thing you're going to notice is the stars are orange, which is a little bit of a unique color for stars. And the reason behind that is the original 74 had yellow stars, and EE had red stars, so Crash decided to combine the two, which would make orange. And since this is a fusion of the two, he decided to go with it. Which is a really cool touch. Crash has great color theory.
Yeah, which really showed in the stars in his in the star display of his most recent hack. Which, for people who have not seen, Crash made the logo for acquired stars and the logo for unacquired stars completely identical in Apocalypse. Meaning that unless you turn off displaying unacquired stars altogether, literally they all just look the same and star display visually does nothing, which is very funny to me. At least it gave me a chance to learn some hidden star display settings, because Aglab just snapped and told me to please turn off please turn on display fronts for unacquired stars.
Nice blue coins. Those are a pretty tight timer.
Actually, my route is the design for Firefight Blues, so that's a bonus.
Nice. Alright, and this line of, or this red coin and the other red coin will bring this 100 coins to the end. And the pace of this stage is going to pick up a lot. This stage has a lot of really fast stars, and it's a pretty cool stage to watch.
Classic remake of one of the most seen stages in EE, with a bunch of vanilla runners that have tried to pick up EE and dropped it up to course 1.
You aren't wrong.
Well then, here we go again.
Not really.
So, this star right here is a reference to... I don't remember if it's in the original 74, but EE has a star where you jump off the side of the building into a tiny hole and there's just a star there. This star right here is a reference to that. You take a tunnel through the building from where that hole is to get to that, but when you're good at the game, you can just wall kick up into it from underneath and save a few seconds. Pretty cool skip.
I think just there's multiple stars in the stage. It just fit the absolute classic star placement. Just hop in the back of the building in specific place.
That is the absolute classic. I didn't even think about that.
It's from DMG that he called the star like that. That just so resonated with me.
This shell star's a little bit scary because it's a little bit hard to hit that star sometimes, but Tala did a good job of getting it.
Yeah, I've reset runs to that star.
Mabel and Jarp spitting facts. I mean, considering Mabel has herself as reference, I think her view that video games are for dorky nerds seems incredibly accurate.
It is. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm a dorky nerd. Lots of us are. There's no shame in that. Right here, Tala used the metal cap to spawn these boxes. You technically can use a fly guy to just barely make it onto the tower. It's really inconsistent, it's really unfair, it's a terrible strat, but it saves a good chunk of time.
But yeah, screw inconsistent single star things here. Well, for me at least.
Yeah, no. The only person I know who goes for it is Siga. It's a terrible strat.
Classic Sicko YOLO.
Alright. That's the house star. That should be all of course 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So now we're going on to course 2. This is a remake of probably the most famous EE course, if I had to imagine. Virus Vine Veranda or whatever. I don't remember. It's a weird name. I'm tired. I was very close to going to sleep before doing this commentary, so here we go. The hundreds and reds in the stage are pretty fast, to be honest. It's a really cool route. Throws together a lot of quick movement, and you cover a lot of ground very quickly. So in this course, we're going to be getting all 7 stars again, just because the 100 coins are fast and every other star is fast. So this stage is going to be a little wild, but pretty fast, so it's not going to be that long. It's a very cool stage, and I personally think it's incredibly enjoyable to watch.
realizing about 3 reds that I did wrong in my casual playthrough.
Good job. When I was doing IL runs of this back when the game first came out, I didn't realize that it was fast to use the boxes. I was just grinding a really tight arch. It was brutal. I'm glad that's not in the route anymore. So right here we're going to be wrapping this 100 coin up by getting that red and then grabbing a line of coins on the side, I believe. Yep.
Imagine miscounting coins and spawning the hundos up there.
Here we go!
If I'm not mistaken, it's generally fine if you spawn the 100 coins up there as long as you bounce off the piranha. It does require a reclimb, so it's obviously not a good idea.
Yeah, so I guess now we get to some of the faster stars here, and this stage is very compact and just a few little paths. This is pretty cool. If you hop on a Hefo, it'll throw you a bit faster than if you just walk into it, which I did not know. There's a sign that tells you, I did not read it. It took me like half an hour to get the star casually, but anyways, it's a pretty cool fun fact about Mario physics.
Yeah, I'm not sure what causes that. I assume it's just you get flipped from a higher height, so that little extra bit of height is what makes the difference, but I'm honestly not sure. All I know is jumping on the Hefos makes you go slightly higher. Cool, we got confirmation from the Mario Master in chat.
Shout out to Mabel, who knows all there is to know about Mario and very little about anything else.
If you get flipped from below, you don't take fall damage. Interesting.
Yeah, you can see that in vanilla. Whether I
I
was.
actually didn't know that one. That's pretty cool.
That star right there, I believe it used to be a vanish cap time in the older versions. In this version, you just enter it from the back, using that little door behind it.
I'm going for the other star.
Yeah, this one's just a random
Oh,
in the top of the tower. I made the terrible mistake playing this casually to get this star with 99 coins because I didn't know it was there.
GMD, what qualifier would you use for your soup here? Because of the last time I'm concerned.
Yes, I have played EE. I should expect something there. I was expecting a coin or something, you know, spice it up. Like, this is a remix hack. I didn't expect a star to be there.
Damn it, GMD breaks out an incredibly delicious answer and now I want one.
Chicken tortilla soup. Oh my. I've never had that before, but that sounds good. Ketchup soup? Yeah.
Here we go!
A few more quickies in this stage, or one more quickie in this stage really, not a few. And then we'll be headed on to B1. In my opinion, B1 is not the worst, but Key 1's pretty hard. At least it's hard to go fast. But there's a lot of tricky stuff in general in the Bowser 1 stage.
Red's usually red at first tier because it doesn't take you up the level, so you can just grab it when they really hop into Bowser.
I'm gonna be honest and say I completely forgot where most of the reds and stars were in this stage. It's been so long since I've done anything but 0 star in this game.
I think as you're starting to wonder what version of that one trick is gonna be done in 120. I guess I'll find out when we get there. If you know, you know.
Checking the wiki, this is Hoo Hoo Village from Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, for the person who asked in chat. Jarp was already on it. Jarp knows all these. Oh, accidental bomb grab there.
It's not until his next act that Crash will give us something funny to do with bombs in that situation. Also, know if you kick a bomb in Apocalypse, it'll just take off forwards forever into the skies. which I've actually seen kill a couple players who didn't know about it and needed a coin. Anyhow, yeah. Key 1 is one of the places that I've heard Crash escape, so those are the more chokeable parts of the run.
This arch right here is terrible. Most of this game is really good. I can't justify this arch. It's just very awkward.
I think it's an EE reference, otherwise I don't think Crash should have done this monstrosity.
It very well might be.
For people who are wondering why this basic bitch arc is like so difficult, the actual answer is these walls are deliberately misaligned. They slowly push you inwards, so you need to basically push inwards. They quickly push you inwards.
You get like 8 wall kicks in there max.
They yeet you inwards.
So the strat is generally to just get a perfectly left angle, do neutral wall kicks, and hope you arch quickly.
After you get the arch, you get the three free piranhas, and then you have to do one really hard jump. It's a very awkward arch. Climb up where the top is. The entire area. Well, we're not quite there yet, but the entire area to climb up for the Womp is actually just generally has pretty bad collision. It's kind of finicky with some Womp RNG, and it's the only hard jump in the stage after the arch. So if you mess it up casually, you just have to like go back, do the arch, which is miserable, then come here, do another arch, but then waste 5 minutes going to the piranhas, then do this arch, which is also miserable and has bad collision and is miserable.
There's a slope, right? You're about to see Tala do this really steep slope. Oh! Shouldn't have spoke so soon. Oh, there's a wall, wow. I can stand behind that wall. That was a wall.
That was
right before the end of the stage, there's this really steep slope. It's absolutely awful. It's terrible to get up quickly. Because the edge of it that you can actually stand on is really small.
Anyways, you guys remember how I talked about how annoying it is to have to redo the stage when you choke it like in a casual playthrough? It's the same thing here. Welcome to having to do the one really hard jump at the beginning, then killing the 3 piranhas, the resident sleeper, and then having to do the tricky thing at the end. This is not a... I mean, I know it's mostly a reference to the original stage, but I know that this is probably not... But I've heard Crash say this is definitely not his favorite part of the game either.
This is not the hottest stage. Or it's the hottest stage, depending on...
Stop goofy.
I am done.
Yeah. One of the big lessons of SRM Volcano is done.
This originally had Paracam, but not Aglabcam, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention to that, because I don't really use D-pad very much, but... I completely forgot about that till you said that, but yeah, that was a thing.
Also, speaking of fillery things to say in Infernos, Delfino got into Inferno Reds today, so shouts to him.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
congrats.
Anyways, we're back at the hard part of the stage, so hopefully things go well. This is the exciting part.
This thwomp is a reference to EE. The jump is dumb in EE, and it's dumb in this game. In Zero Star, I do a strat where I go under the thwomp, and it's really RNG based, and it's really stupid.
Okay.
And there's just no good way to handle that. That was awesome handling of that slope right there.
Got first key.
Key 1 is down. If you were Crash, you would have no camera. Nice. I can get behind that.
Quote from creator of Aglab Cam.
I don't know how I didn't realize that. I didn't consciously process that. I suppose Aglab Cam was in fact made by Aglab. That is a good observation. This star is a little scary. Nice.
I've gotten the hand fit.
Yeah, a lot of people got really annoyed the game didn't have Aglab Cam, so Crash kind of caved a little bit. It was like, fine, I'll add it. This is also probably a reference to EE. I don't remember. It's been way too long since I played this stage in EE.
This is the infamous EE star. You just pick up the random fucking hill and you find the random star stashed in the corner.
I feel like that sort of stars in like at least 7 places in EE. Just random corner, random hill. Congrats, you got a star.
Not to like horrifically insult Lug or anything, but I will point out that that's pretty similar to some of the stars we were talking about in Bubby's game that came before this one. It kind of is though.
The BSA style. Daniel getting filtered from the chat for making a D's nuts joke. That's what we like to see. Adequate justice has been served.
Oh, we're not allowed to make these nuts jokes. Dang, my ability to submit a run for the summer has plummeted just now.
Censorship.
Literally 1984 here.
94. Alright. Overworld 2.
Shush, Delfino, that's fun.
So, Overworld 2 actually has its own set of, I believe, 7 stars?
6.
6? Okay, cool. I wish I had star display up so I could check that. But yeah, okay, 6 stars. And they're all pretty quick to get. And this one in particular is a little tricky. But if you first try all of these, this is a really fast split.
Available. Really good place to benefit from Aglab Cam. This area tends to be really tricky in Vanilla Extreme Edition. Obviously, it's still pretty tricky if you're trying to go fast here, but Aglab Cam definitely makes it a lot more consistent.
Fun little tidbit of information. That platform between 2 slopes that had the sign on it, in Extreme Edition, that's where you do a BLJ to get to Bowser 2 for 10 star. I think it's just 10 star. The 0 star task does it too, though. Crash went really out of his way to make sure that was not a thing in this game, and then in the Deluxe Edition it just randomly showed up again, so now that BLJ is possible again.
I mean, there were a lot of funny things that would be bad. So we forgot to comment it on the actual V1, but in case you guys didn't, we talked about it in the slide, but yeah, V1 requires metal cap, like, a lot. And somehow, Crash randomly didn't notice. Like, so I don't know how some quirk of beta testing led no one to realize that you couldn't get metal cap before V1, so the game just softlocks there effectively. And Crash's heart apparently broke when someone told him on the release of his masterpiece that the game was unbeatable because he needed the metal cap in Overworld 2.
Okay, third.
Nice.
Here we go!
Significantly less gameplay than I do.
And since you mentioned
One gimmick I will mention with the Bowser stages is there's a, for lack of better words, there's an easy version of the stage and a hard version of the stage. The easy version is going to be the one that you enter first, and there's all the stars in it. And then the harder version is going to be just the key fight, which in this case is Piranha Plants in B1 and Secrets in B2. So it's a cool little remix, because one of them will lean more towards the 74 style and the other leans more towards the EE style. One other little bit of info that I find to be a little bit cool is most people who've seen both Extreme Edition and 74 would recognize that this is the Overworld 2 from Extreme Edition, because both 74 and Extreme Edition have pretty distinctly different Overworld 2s, which is one of the only like significant differences in stages. And, or rather, it's the only stage that's not really a remake. And we'll see that 74 Overworld 2 in a 155 run, but I don't think it made it into 120 because it's kind of slow.
Yeah, it's very slow.
This is one of the
and
hardest
very hard.
stars in the game. Actually, the hardest star in the game, in my opinion. It's in a hidden stage called Void of the East.
So yeah, in the back of Overworld 3, there's a hidden stage called Void of the East, and it's a grayscale version of the 74 Overworld 2. It's really hard. Arguably hardest star in the game. I would stand behind that. I think it's the hardest star in the game. And there's a lot of quicksand in typical Kaizo fashion. Right, meme star right here. Everyone's favorite Overworld star. It also breaks your camera.
Yeah.
And another meme star, just because we are making fun of BSA star placements. Which, interestingly enough, reason why that star is in that wall is because you can randomly walk into that wall in Extreme Edition. You didn't randomly just remove collision from that. That was a thing in the original Extreme Edition, so you decided to shove a star there.
Here.
Yep. I've never seen this skip before, so this is new to me.
There.
Nice! That's a really cool skip. I've never seen that before.
Clean.
That right there skipped going to the main building and getting Vanish Cap.
I still have to press the switch. Or later. But next this time.
Oh wow! I also didn't know about this skip. That's cool.
This stage is actually one of the harder stages in the game casually, so it's pretty cool to see it broken like this.
I will say, that clip Tala did, I'm not exactly sure what causes it, but there is a little bit of a wonky thing. This game is one of the first to use Frames Collision Patch. It removes a lot of invis walls. It overall rounds corners, makes things a little bit less janky, but I have noticed it adds in a few of those weird little things where you can just kind of clip into the very edge of a wall on the floor like that. There's one of those in Course 12 that was recently found. That's really helpful. Not sure if it's Frame's collision patch, but there is a really weird way to get into B2 early that you'll see in 0-star runs, and I have no idea why it works, but I assume it's just because walls are thinner. You essentially just throw a box while falling and just clip straight in. It makes 0 sense. Alright. That timer star is a little bit tight. Cut it a little close there, but excellent job first trying it.
Star's brutal casually as well.
Being able to see in this stage is lame. In my genuine opinion, being able to see is not necessarily a disappointment to me.
No, it's no longer an LU 1.5B1 reference.
These crossovers right here, or whatever you want to call them, jump over the fires, they didn't have the side grates in 1.0, which meant you could cross over between the actual platforms supporting them. Crash since removed that, which is a little bit unfortunate. It makes the stars slightly harder. It's one of the few things that actually got buffed in Deluxe, but Deluxe is still way more worth it in terms of difficulty and, in general, I believe, speed.
Backup star now.
Here we go!
So there's one more star in Vanish Gap before moving on to Course 4. Course 4 is, honestly, in my opinion, probably my least favorite level. It's not bad, it's just not a very fun stage. Got a lot of scary stuff, and swamp levels in general tend to not be the greatest. Alright. And that's the Vanish Gap. So, there's a bit of a meme star in this stage. The reference to Star Road, the other entrance. This game calls it the alternative entrance, creatively as it is. Gotta love that. Alternate entrance. It's a really good Star Road reference. And then Smells Like Mist Spirit is a reference to the Nirvana song. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Crash had a lot of fun with his references in this stage.
Triple jump dive is harder.
Yeah, that triple jump dive is really scary.
Or Reclaim may as well say a very funny thing that happened. a few days ago we were voice calling in a Pluto server, and Tala had a lot of static going on with his microphone. So I muted him on my end, and it appears to have carried on to this for some reason in a different server. So I've accidentally had Tala muted the entire time on my end, which I'm realizing probably made me interrupt him brutally at the beginning of the run and probably multiple times since. So I'm kind of incredibly cringing on myself right now.
Maria, you fool!
I don't know what Discord did that. Oh my gosh! How bad did it look in the beginning?
I mean, it's fine.
Anyways.
It was only a little bad at the beginning.
Well, however, this is probably the dumbest thing someone's done in SRM today, so whatever mistakes anyone else is cringing at won't be worse than that moment. I was like, why isn't Tala reading the thing? I didn't realize it would carry between servers.
There. I even put that noise cancellation thing.
No, that hasn't been a problem since like last week when this happened. It's just so funny to me that because of that, I had this idiotic disaster myself. By the way, GG on the star.
I'm dead.
That's a little bit of a weird star.
Star's incredibly awkward.
How short and sweet this star is, there's a surprisingly large number of strats for doing this. And all of them are hard.
Very awkward jump.
Nice. So in this stage, I believe Tala will be getting everything but hundreds. Hundreds is a pretty slow star in this stage, no matter, even if you put it with reds.
You don't have the notes at hand?
Yeah, I do. This red coin star is really scary. These fish can just slurp you up at any moment.
Crash just spammed like 504 fish here, which are a very awkward enemy to dodge.
They're actually called Bubbas. Maria's just a clown.
No force in this world will make me stop calling them boarfish. However, they are... I don't know, something about this enemy is weird. It feels like when they get you, it's when you wouldn't expect them to get you, but they have like this incredibly terrifying presence.
They have a terrible mouth hitbox. Does a really good job at dodging the Bubbas.
Let me start that.
It's really interesting that that is one of the few places in the game where all of the reds are in one section. It's not very common in Kaizo hacks, but it is a thing in this hack. Or at least this stage of this hack. And it's also a thing in Course 5. And I'm not sure what other stages, but for the most part they are generally spread out. Course 8 has a red coin maze. But we don't need to talk about that one. This star has a really weird and wonky skip for it. It's really hard to get consistent at. I don't think I could get consistent at it personally.
Me less.
Going through the pipes like that is the safer, consistent option. Flip up there.
Mamma mia!
What's interesting about this star is Crash changed the window you used to enter. In the older versions, it was on a completely different side of the building, and now it's on the back side. I'm not sure what the reason for the change was. I guess it's a more obvious location, but when I first swapped versions, it caught me very off guard.
Here we go!
Alright,
Mamma mia!
time for course 3, I believe. Let me check the notes. Yeah, time for course 3.
Here we go!
Course 3 has a little bit of weird stuff going on in it. There's one Vanish Cap star that has like a near unit perfect clip you can do to just skip the entire thing. It's garbage. I don't think anyone ever would go for it. There's a skip right here where you can skip the water raising, but
Two single star for me.
okay.
This stage does a lot of very notable changes from the original. The original version of this game, before Crash edited a lot, had you do basically the entirety of Star 6 for every star, which is crushingly brutal. You basically have to climb the entire structure, which is a difficult thing in EE that people skip even.
Yes. The original version of this game is incredibly, it's very barbaric compared to the cute, amazing game we have today. It's absolutely impressive how much work Crash put into making this game as good as it is in this current day and age. Massive respect to him as a creator. But this stage did used to spawn you at the bottom for every single act. Now it only does that for Act 6, which is getting from the bottom to the top with no checkpoint, or water level raisers. This Vanish Gap Timer star is pretty tough. It's either this or Star 6 is the hardest star in the stage. It's a very... What is that wall? Wow. That's a wall I've never seen before. Alright, we're really hitting it hard today with the invis walls.
Ah. I almost had it. Finally.
Nice, there we go. That is a rough star.
Almost over halfway. My gold and just 1 star.
Oof. Yeah, it's tough between the Invis wall and going fast. So that star right there, you're intended to do a crazy box triple jump bounce thing. I'm not sure the exact technical term for it, but when you use the crazy box and bounce 3 times with it, you're intended to do that and land on the ledge. I'm pretty sure that's a reference to the Super Mario 74 speedrunning strat, if I'm not mistaken. Because you do some pretty cool stuff with a crazy box in this stage in 74. Nice skip. That skip's pretty tight. But yeah, no, when you're speedrunning the game, you don't need the crazy box. You can just go for it.
Brutal stars in a gradual play. I think in the original, this the lava here is quicksand. I'm not sure which.
Yes, yeah, it was. It was.
Made it a more brutal star, I imagine.
Moving on top of thwomps, especially trying to go fast, is absolutely insanely difficult. It's way harder than it looks. You only have the 2 tiny triangles in the center to work with. Otherwise, you just butt slide off, making that a lot harder than it really looks, and it's insanely hard to speedrun that star. What's interesting about the stage is it actually has a quite fast 100 coin star just because of the sheer amount of blue coins in it. There's like, what, 45 coins worth of blues? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Awesome. And then you could just jump down and swim into the red coin cave and you just have all the coins you need. These ships have really weird collision when you're swimming. I have no idea why, but they are just really weird. You can clip through them, you get down warp, you get stuck on basically nothing. It's a very weird and wonky star.
Here we go!
Alright, that's... I believe that's almost all of course 3. One more star.
This is the moment.
Oof.
Yeah, this climb is brutal.
There is very little room for error on this star, and there's a lot of time lost for every tiny little slip up. It's a very hard star to do well.
Yeah, in the original version, just having to do this at the start of every single star. This stage is brutal.
Only slightly made up for by the fact you could raise the water between every 2 to 3 jumps. So, there we go.
Here we go!
So next up is course 8. This is notoriously kind of a messy stage in every version of the game, because it has the infamous underwater maze. Although, if I remember correctly, it's not underwater in the original, it's just a normal maze in the original. Which is not a whole lot better, but mazes are mazes.
How many stars? I think one of the trickier and more finicky things in the stage, and Extreme Edition is there's I think Quicksand under it, which makes it a fairly brutal star. And here's just an example of extremely difficult thing but retryable.
Nice, there we go. In terms of stage theming, this stage leans a lot closer towards the EE version of it than it does the 74 version of it, which is probably the only real complaint I hear about this game a lot, is it's more similar to EE than it is to 74. This is probably the biggest offender of that. This basically just being a snow version of the EE stage. The 74 stage is a nothing burger. That's a good way of putting it. This was a very hard stage to redeem from Crash's perspective. Oh, sorry, what?
You're backing up. Okay. Because of missing the
No.
track here.
Aw.
Shoutouts to the ridiculous thing that the E test is for the star, which was beyond ridiculous slide into the table.
This arch is notoriously hard. At least in the original EE. In this game, I honestly don't think it has much of a reputation at all. It's just an arch. It's a stressful one, because you mess it up, then you lose those boxes, and you have to swim all the way back. It's not a fun arch to mess up.
That's a good example of the kind of thing where having Aglip Cam definitely makes it a lot less finicky.
Yeah, the camera definitely makes this arch a lot less wonky than the EE one. But it's unfortunately still no joke.
Why am I here again? There.
Nice, there we go.
Nice.
Here we go! Yahoo! Hey, go! Woohoo! Woo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
Alright, nice. That's a little bit of a spooky jump right there.
Incredibly obscure star location that took me like an hour to find casually too.
Sneaky little hidden star there. Pretty fast one though.
There's even the fake like mountain peak that pretends to be like a location and then it's just not.
Over here is Toad, which is funny because this is a MIPS in both of the original games, I believe. And on to course 9, which is my personal favorite stage in the game. This is a little bit of a weird star here. The whole gimmick is to get all the way down to where the star was in, I believe, Extreme Edition, and then you get a secret there and turn all the way back. Rather, all 5 secrets stacked on top of each other.
All the jumps here are just so awkward and kind of scary to do.
Excellent first try there.
Nice.
I didn't even think about that, Pyro. That would make sense if he was just unable to put MIPS there. Wait, no, he probably could. MIPS is in that same overworld. This fight right here is basically the Extreme Edition boss fight, but not stupid. In best terms.
Here we go! Hey, go!
This windmill stage, or windmill star right here, is a nightmare in every aspect. Amazing first try right there. That's a really tough star. It requires a very precise triple jump and a very precise... I think it's a first or second frame wall kick for the first wall kick there. Nice little meme star under spawn. Typical fashion.
Could have waited until the box disappeared, but whatever.
Alright, with that star, we are done with course 9 and moving on to Wing Cap, which Tala will be getting every star in Wing Cap in addition to the switch.
Definitely another example of a stage that was crushingly bland in the original, and then Crash managed to improve it enough to make it only terribly bland. Our roller stars here are pretty straightforward, so makes sense that things are routed here.
Oh, Babam really wants to talk.
Gotta love the Stickwood mountains.
Boy, PogChamp. That's the spirit, Bigfoot.
Oh.
Ooh! That is a prime example of how awkward the Wing Cap hitbox is. When you're using Wing Cap as Mario, your hitbox is as tall as Mario standing up, and it's just does not match Mario visually at all. So what you saw there was the very top of his hitbox hitting the ceiling there, or the wall there, even though that looked like it shouldn't have. There we go.
Halfway there. Still a long way to go.
Being pretty honest, there really isn't much to say about Reds in this stage, except it's just clever usage of cannons and keeping as much speed as you can with the Wing Cap.
It's trying to go from higher to lower.
Really clean moment for all the Reds.
No meme red in the corner of the stage.
Nope.
So sad.
Alright, Bigfoot after Overworld 1 and Bubby Hack, we were getting so used to those.
Alright, one last quick start here. Oh. Good, good. Now it's on to course 6, which is most famous for being a fire level, but now it's a water level. And it's quite the water level.
Stage has 6 pretty like exploration-y dull water things, and one incredibly crushingly precise star, which is the one that we're doing after the bat apparently.
Oh. Very close on that.
Oof, yeah. This ship took me hours to get. It is somehow one of the hardest, most precise things in the game, in my opinion, and just randomly here in this very chill water level.
Tala will be getting all 7 stars here because the stars are decently fast and they're ridiculously safe. It's a very consistent play to go for all 7 stars here. Loses very little time and is almost impossible to die to. This is the biggest holdup in the entire stage, this star right here. Yes, I believe this is Aquatic Ambience from Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, the star is super fast and done quickly, but it's just extremely hard. I can see this being really tricky to turn on a speedrun though.
No, okay.
Oh, very close.
Got this. Collision there also seems a bit funky.
The ceiling is really brutal to try and avoid.
Okay.
Nice. Now a little bit of a wing cap fight over to the other room. That was a very clean ground pound.
Let's go. And from here, the rest of the stage, thankfully, is just clean up.
So right here, Tala's going for clams and hundreds, I believe,
Yeah.
which is... The reason you do clams with hundreds is just because the reds are generally all in one section. Clams with hundreds works out a little bit better just because the clams are so spread out, which means you have a lot more coverage of the level, giving you a lot more time to get the coins. That being said, some of these clams are very pesky to find.
I have like 5 or 6 100 coin stars because not really counting properly. I'm playing right now.
That's fair, Bigfoot, but generally how this game goes is the hundreds in the earlier stages, like course 1, 2, and 3, are really fast, and then as you get later into the game, they tend to be a lot slower.
Part of it is the fact that this suit is like a really steep start. What's your going?
Since we're here, gonna get a few rests.
Whoever invented water is fired.
Well,
I got tough news for you, buddy. Water's been around for a long time.
we'll all be dead.
Although saying that the person is fired is kind of funny considering the extreme hack meme of turning all the water levels into fire levels and all the fire levels into water levels.
That is true. That is what happened to Course 3 of Extreme Edition. John Waters, dickhead. Fire the icy asteroids who crashed into the Earth 3 billion years ago. There we go, the copy pastas have started.
Took you long enough.
About time.
Classic water level moment.
We got through the hundreds
Fucking
already.
drowned factory.
We got through the hundreds before these started coming out. Like, what took you so long?
Shut up, commentator training out of the copy paste.
I love you too, Katsu.
It's worth noting, I actually didn't notice this the first time I played the stage, but this is the same as the EE course, but upside down and then filled with water. So you're actually spawning in the basement room of the EE stage. Which is quite interesting.
Here we go!
And the 3-star for last.
Don't blink, you might miss this star.
Here we go!
Alright, on to course 7. I personally think this is... Crash did an amazing job at taking a stage that was kind of terrible and making it into something that's pretty okay. I don't think this is the most fun stage of all time still, but it's way better than it ever was, and as I've said multiple times, massive shoutouts to Crash. He's an amazing ROM hacker. I highly recommend you check out his other stuff if you find this game interesting.
Might be here a while.
Definitely a rough stage. It has a lot of very annoyingly chokeable things. Seeing Monty moles in a Kaizo stage is very annoying in its own right. They have an incredible ability to just bully you off in janky ways. And the layouts is very chokeable in general.
Very red going there. It's generally a very consistent way to grab it, but it's horrifying no matter how you do it. And one last red coin over the gap for the dramatic effect.
Here we go!
And that's one of the trickier stars in the level, hopefully. I know that Crash doesn't do a full level, so just to see how much throughout the beat here.
One interesting thing about this stage is there was originally a star. Ooh. Okay, nice save. There was originally a star in this stage that was climbing to the top and then using a Chuckyo to clip in. But Crash ended up removing it just due to the fact it was kind of repetitive and just resulted in the player climbing the stage again for doing the exact same thing as another star. But yes, the pillar in the middle near the top is entirely hollow, and there is ground in all of it.
No.
Oh! Very unfortunate flip up there.
It's a very awkward boss fight in general.
Womp Clip is fixed for this fight? No, but it's kind of, just because the fact you're in the sand and you can't really jump very high.
Plus, the trick isn't trying to get above it to hit it, the trick is trying to not get pushed off when it stands up.
A lot of the fight is manipulating the position so you don't get pushed off. To my knowledge, Womp Clip still works, it's just really hard to do. If even possible. Ooh, yeah.
That happened to me a few times casually, just so awkward having the
There's no sound. Well, that's up to Void, I think.
Game back, now it's sound.
This level has a very cool and unique theme to it. It's not something I've ever seen in a Kaizo hack before.
No. Well, I'm dead now.
Oh.
Oof.
Mamma mia!
Very nice, Bigfoot. I don't endorse eating mice as a celebratory practice, but you do you. Alright, Womp, be nice.
Okay. Once again.
Ooh, wow, okay. That scared me.
How long? 10
It's...
years? Well, it's gonna be 10 and a half. I think.
Yes, it's... I don't remember what month it released, but this was the 10-year anniversary hack, and this has been out for a fair bit.
About a year.
A year, yeah. It has been a year, that's wild. Bit of a hidden star meme there.
Alright, that's the longer stars done.
We have reached 72, so for people who have the ascendant taste and funny number, we have reached the better funny number.
That's so true.
The Treasure World stocks are going crazy. "69 enjoyers in shambles."
We're
You
past
still
that.
don't understand me.
You should have
Oh,
had,
yeah.
you had the chance when I finished Core 6. Anyway, let's start. Pretty easy.
73 enjoyer here. Nice.
Of course, the absolute classic moment, necessary in most Extreme Edition stages.
And now we're entering course 5. Ground Factory, but instead of being lame, it's interesting. No Drowned Factory memes will be tolerated.
You know, there probably wasn't gonna be anyone until you said that Volcano.
I will ban them. I don't have the ability to do that, but I can give them a dirty look until they regret saying anything. I'm giving you a dirty look, Maria. You know what you did.
I like our version that's even taken out the new G&D. Anyways, jokes aside, so as you can see, the Drowned Factory's gone a bit for refurbishment.
Ooh.
Nope. Just graphic line.
But yeah, this level is, for people who missed the Extreme Edition pass yesterday, it's normally in the water in the original AE, and it's dug out of the water here because the level is boring. That does lead to a stage that is largely choosable with Wing Cap, or just there's some very tricky BLJ that I know Crash does that I don't know if it's gonna be in this run. And then a lot of it is just like climbing up of these ventilation systems. Still pretty cool to see how well the level holds up when it's originally meant to be a water level and not much of it has changed physically.
There's actually a very interesting single star strat found for the wing cap star on the stage that skips the wing cap entirely. It's incredibly unique. box, you throw it, and then you run and catch up with it and have it push you through the wall. It's an incredibly cool strat. I believe it was found by Messi, who was here earlier. I don't know if they're still here. Shoutouts to Messi, Insanity. Absolutely legendary player. Really cool strat.
Unfortunately, you're not seen here. I don't do it. It's too hard.
Yeah, it's a very scary strat.
I can stay in single star. Although it's pretty funny to see how the stage has the absolute classic dynamic where the wing cap is used by casual players to cheese literally everything, and meanwhile single star just skips the wing cap because they ascend beyond it.
If you went for every single skip that's possible in this stage, you would not be finishing any runs. It's just... There's a lot of stuff in this stage that saves a little bit of time. It's just
want me to lose more time, Bigfoot?
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Don't know where to get more coins. I need to get past here, but I don't want to take double damage. Let's see. Okay, never mind.
Heal you in this version, I think.
Roll. Hopefully I should have no problem now. Okay.
Total of 74 coins, 70 coin stock, 74 stars, and 74 years after. You really have a simple Tron here. long, drawn-out red coin star to spread all over the level. Really? Necessary to put them all there instead of just having a star spawn. I think it's...
The red coins are incredibly scattered in this stage. Very. It's quite the Easter egg hunt. Maria only? What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, Dakish saw the other commentator and felt the need to remove them preemptively, which wise, I think.
I'm being bullied in the chat with like 150 people.
I know that. Also, Dakash KDs.
This is harassment. This is based. Harassment's not based.
This one is against you, Delfino. Asterisk, don't actually harass Delfino, except jokingly, in which case please harass Delfino.
No. Why does everyone have that emote?
Shoutouts to Navi Dude and quote unquote Praxo for being the reason why everyone has that emote.
That was a very nice skip. I didn't know about that one.
You can do this.
Or
I
you
just
can,
find the firsties.
or you can do firsties, but
I did firsties because I'm stupid.
I also did firsties because I'm also stupid.
We should start a club. Oh, we got the Joels in the chat.
Jolin.
That's some good luck right there.
Joel for the good luck.
Maria, you absolute jerk. Oof. Oh,
Past here. There's a... If anyone wants to look up Crash's run, I do want to shout out, there's a really cool BLJ he does, a skipped advantage cap, which is barely RTA viable in Rust. It's very understandable why Talas go for it, but it looks very cool if you want to look at it.
Yeah, I tried it and couldn't do it consistently.
Oh yeah, no, the thing is monstrous.
Yeah, there is a very precise BLJ. Since the walls are so thin, it's very easy to get too much speed and just go breezing through the entire section. I think I was the first person to do the BLJ. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna take credit for finding it, but I found
You're
it.
subtly taking credit for finding things on stream.
Exactly. Not gonna say I found it, but I found it.
The actual discoverer dies in obscurity.
This is the...
So welcome to Metal Cap. I
yeah,
think nothing wrong with
formerly
this
Metal
right?
Cap.
This is where the Metal Cap switch was placed in the original with no issues whatsoever.
We call this formerly Metal Cap.
It's also another case of lava stage gets turned into ice.
Toxic stage gets turned to ice even.
Fun fact, I didn't know that holding A when you hit one of those spinny things makes you fall slower, so I died to the star for like half an hour casually before someone in chat finally felt kind enough to tell me. Oh, oof. Death. They all knew, they just enjoyed watching me die.
That is true. I am included in that day. This star is actually quite interesting because it requires very, very conservative usage of your spin drifts. You mess up one and you've honestly got to get a backup star unless you find some really creative way to back it up. Because almost all of these spin drifts need to be used to get the star.
Okay, yeah, almost diagonal. Hopefully this works. And think one. Nope.
Oh, very close. Thankfully this coin can be backed up by just simply long jumping from the top.
The sign warps you back, thankfully. There's a sign in Apocalypse that says that that also says it'll warp you back if you stand on it, and it says it'll kill you if you ground pound on it. So I spent like a minute trying to ground pound it in every way, trying to see it crash at some like cool ASM. I couldn't get it to kill me. GG and start.
Okay, this one.
I think it's the trickiest thing in the stage, so hopefully it goes smooth from here.
Yes, this star is quite tricky. It used to be a shell. I'm very glad it's not a shell anymore.
Actually, I think it was in the 1.0, I think. The
Yes.
Start with the shell.
Yeah, it was a shell in 1.0.
I tried and couldn't get halfway through here.
Oh yeah, it was awful. It took me like 3 hours. It was like one of the hardest things in the game. What was that?
Yeah, TYA 1.0 has some gamer design.
Oh!
That was crushing.
Steep slopes really just love to eat Mario. Just lock him in place and never let him leave. Very nice.
Time to visit the snowman.
Yes, love the star. What could possibly go wrong here? Such a nice, wholesome little star, right? And then it's like, nope! You've come to the wrong neighborhood.
Snowmen are back and they angry.
No.
Ooh, that was a weird bonk. No. These snowmen get out of hand very quickly.
The TK raid.
Yo, shoutouts to the DK raid. 251s but didn't PB. Dang. Amazing consistency though, TK. You got this.
Okay, 3 stars now. Thanks, TK.
Here we go!
51 with a death in Cloud Rail. Very impressive.
Okay.
This hole is really funny. Has really terrible collision, lots of invis walls. Just overall kind of garbage.
I'm dead.
There's a lot of ways you can go about this star, and all of them are weird in their own way.
Yeah, I don't know, could be the jankiest star in the entire game, honestly. Also, the hole is shaped funny.
Go hole.
Here we go!
Alright, and that's it for Aerial Alpine. Let's see. Alright, so it's time for Bowser 2. This is... It's honestly kind of comically easy to get to the Key 2 from Bowser 2, especially compared to the Bowser 1 Key 1. You just kind of swim into the hole and boom, you're there. But this stage is not a joke. This stage is really hard. I have lost so many runs here trying to do 0 star. It is absolutely brutal.
Just hope I don't get 5 out of 5s here. Because I have in runs that PB'd.
Oof.
At least you got a PP anyways, but that's tragic.
How's it going, Nephilim? Quick shout out to Nephilim. They've been very active in finding insanely cool strats for this game. They're really hard strats, they're not very fun strats, but they're really cool, they save a lot of time, and it's absolutely impressive. Exactly, Pluto.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like, hey, it's Bowser's quicksand spit, except it got filled in with water now, and there's no quicksand anymore. Yay! And then we just add back the quicksand.
The normal D2 does have the retryable first D bit, though. I'll give it credit where it's due. The retryable first D bit.
I guess the thing we give credit for.
Heck yeah, we do. It's like the McDonald's ball pit. You tend to stay for 5 minutes and you get stuck there for an hour.
Thanks, Daniel. Hope you don't hear me talking too low.
This shell section's awful. Three, 4. This is a really scary section. You could technically do a triple jump off those tiny little slivers. It's awful. It's a brutal run killer. It is not worth it to any extent.
We're clear.
And that's key too.
Nice. A single death with 0 secrets and grabbing it is actually pretty good.
And just before you say anything, I'm not doing any bursties here.
There's the infamous first D pit. Admire it.
So chill when you fall in water instead of just losing all of your dreams. One of the famous hallmarks of Kaizo's stage design.
Those Chuckyas are ready to kill. We need to just make a category of this hack that's just like 155, no wall clips. 120, no wall clips. These wall clips are getting out of hand. glitchless, honestly.
Here we go! Here we go!
Very
Nice little
strategic.
Danish cat. You say what?
Strategic.
Here we go!
Okay.
Nice.
Here we go!
Coming up is Overworld 3. This is where the run's gonna get a fair bit harder. And this stage has some interesting strats. I'll let you see them for yourself.
Here we go!
That's what.
Yeah, I still am so confused what witchcraft makes that skip work, but it works.
Bump forwards and clip anyways. That's kind of cool.
Yep, you throw it so it like squeezes you between itself and the wall. Then this one you just jump ground pound.
And that's the second one.
Nice. Double bomb clip. Double first try rather.
That was clean.
Probably extended boundaries memes? Maybe. Makes sense. I wonder how much of it has to do with the walls being thinner too.
Let's see if I don't soft lock here.
This boss fight has a brutal tendency of one of the hands getting stuck in the lava pits.
Ah, yes. But in fact, the soft lock, which you can do basically nothing to avoid other than killing it in the minimal cycles possible. The soft lock here is the origin of my skill issue about because Delfino kept saying skill issue to me. Oh, oof. Delfino kept saying skill issue to me over and over as I got a soft lock 3 times. And that annoyed me so much that I decided to capture my soul forever. Very brutal fight there though.
Oof. This stage goes hard. I love the music in this stage.
That's pretty good.
You've never seen that before. Just went straight through the high rock.
The sliding crush.
Even Houdini was surprised by that one.
Here we go!
Okay, thankfully no soft lock.
Okay, next.
Hey, go!
Very good.
First try.
Hey, go!
Secrets. Okay, let's see how these two secrets go. No.
This probably is one of the worst time zones for viewers in SRM. Just because it's getting very late / early for America, and then it's just morning time in Europe.
Here we go!
Yeah, please do not ever attempt secrets without the switch. That is a terrible strat. I've done it with save states. It's not worth it. No one should ever do that. Even for fun. Sub 8 and 0 star, not without significantly new strats.
I'm gonna kill this Poke now because also the quicksand I won't be able to get it later.
That's true, Pluto. That red under the bridge is quite hidden. And nice. There we go.
Nice rumble.
Here we go! Here we go! Let's go!
I feel like it goes without saying this stage is kind of rough. It's a toxic gas desert-ish level. It's just hard.
Very much one of the most hated stages in Extreme Edition, one of the most hated stages here. Ooh, are we seeing Intended?
Yep.
Wow, you mean Intended with time to spare. That timer is really tight. Tolfino made like a crazy setup that lets you like wall kick there from somewhere to stage you're completely not intended to.
Yes, this level has absolutely awesome theming. I can agree with that. It's unfortunate that it's
the gameplay, on the other hand.
This isn't a very fun stage, unfortunately. It's very pretty though.
I feel like the reds here are one of the most evident like screams no as far as fitting into a speedrun.
That's an interesting opinion, Daniel. It's kind of hard to judge that, just because everything in that stage is so retryable.
On the notes that Crash gave me for commentating this, one of the things he highlights is that he knows that this stage is terrible, but in his defense, the Extreme Edition version is even more terrible. So getting that opinion afterwards feels kind of funny.
Crash can only do so much to redeem this level.
And then meanwhile here's Daniel like, oh my god, I love this place.
One more star here, it's a real quickie. Right next to Spawn. This game really loves its Spawn stars.
Here we go, the Course 11 haters are pouring in.
Oh my.
Yeah, really tragic. It would have been really cool to get to see the race with Crash. And he was like working really hard for it too.
This stage is quite something. It's a very cool stage, it's also a very long stage.
Let's start.
It has essentially the tiny huge island gimmick. Or just two entrances. I think you always enter that entrance as speedruns because it's faster. At least according to Crash. I don't know if you go for stars here. This is incidentally my least favorite stage in the game. I absolutely hate this place.
If I'm not mistaken, it's fastest to enter this side for secrets.
Yeah.
As the first star, and then after that you want to enter left on every other one, and that's just because it's like slightly closer, at least the way I've been routing the game. It's slightly closer to go to the right first.
Not doing well. I once got the booster instead of the secrets, and it was pretty. Okay, that's for that side. And guess what? You need to do first here.
The absolute classic of firstie to enter the stage. There's multiple other parts here that wants double firsties or single firsties.
Okay, you can do that without a firstie, but let's be reasonable here, guys. It is harder to do it without a firstie than it is to do it with a firstie. Not to make fun of the viewers, but believe me, we know.
I didn't know. That's cool.
You don't run the game, Maria. You're an exception. Okay, but the pipe setup's slower than the firstie. The enemies in Crudello make it 15 times less fun. I have no idea what enemies you mean, but sure. The only spawn enemy, or the only enemies are the ones that spawn. They're the only, like, significant ones. This French Ryan enemy. WSRM stands for... yeah, that's what it stands for. I was so tempted to say winter summer on that map. So close to saying it. So close. I refrained.
You might wanna read the next split, the next note splits.
Alright, we get to see some new stuff here. So, if I'm correct, what Tala's gonna do here is clip into the 150 star door to get the Overworld Toad. Very nice clip. And then after this, you'll be going to Grandmaster's goal. I think he's getting one more Toad too. Yeah, one Toad real quick, and then you're going to be seeing Grandmaster's goal. 2 of the 3 stars in it. One of them is essentially mandatory to do as the 155th star. The other one is... the other 2 you can do basically whenever. There's little restriction on when you can do them. And one is a timer star, the other is just a hidden star. This is based off Champions Challenge from the original 74. Yes, the gate behind the big pyramid structure is Void of the East.
What am I doing?
Alright. That's gonna be it for Grandmaster's goal. Next is going to be Course 13. Which, Course 13 is... I honestly don't remember how the Mario 74 stage looked.
It was lava.
But... it was a lava level?
Yeah.
Got it. Oh yeah, it was. It was. You're right. And this, it's a water level. Fun little thing is, this game has momentum patch. You can kind of see Tala bounces really high off those water platforms. That's just because when you long jump off more than one in a row, they kind of pop up underneath you and give you a little bit of extra height.
Least favorite, I think it would be, I think it's Course 11, the beach, because they're not they're not switching the original, so just for the fact that exactly 100 points.
I personally really hated B3 in the original 74 just because the one underneath the level star where you fly up under it, it took me ridiculously long.
Here we go! Let's go!
Interesting thing about this star in particular is in the original 74 it's that Banjo-Kazooie cartridge, and in Extreme Edition that's how you access the final stage Triarch Bridge. So just clever reusage of that space to put a star there with the Wet Dry World timer platforms. And now we are entering spheres. Very nice. That star can be a little bit tricky.
It's funny because I've heard that Venenium was an apocalyptically terrible stage in the first version of this game, from what I've heard. And I only ever played the deluxe, so this is actually my favorite stage in the game, maybe one of my favorite stages ever. I love this stage. It's just so fun to be in. And then I just hear all the Hollow stories about how awful the thing was originally.
Here we go!
There's a lot of versions of the sphere cycling, or styling. There's at least like 8 or so. There's 6 by Lugma Lord himself, and then there's a lot of remakes by fans. So actually, probably at least 10, to my knowledge. Probably more. Alright. Nice. It's one of the longer stars of the stage.
Okay, never mind.
I'm going in hard saying both Star Road and 74 suck. If you can't please everyone, piss off everyone.
No.
Alright, that finishes up with course 14, and on to the last stage, the Delambre Sphere. Will be the last 3 stars before Bowser 3.
I'm on a really good pace right now, so you may have to find a pillar. Or you can let a drunk star DMG early. Mostly because well, DMB is commentating, so it's not too late for him. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Alright. 2 more.
Why am I here? I think attempt is dead. Gonna try.
Ooh, wow, that was a scary ledge grab.
Really, Crash?
Oh, Crash, no.
Rip Crash.
No, Crash.
Thought you put an alarm or something.
What a tragedy.
I did not know Mario C down cam put the camera above you like that. That's actually really cool.
Actually super convenient for that section. I mean, Nagab, I think that looking at hacks ignoring their age is hard when it's specifically that one. Like, it's hard to... Damn, 120 stars. Okay. Like, start to ignore the fact that we'd probably not be playing this, like any of us, without Extreme Edition in 74. And again, B3. B3 is kind of really cool because following the tradition of the original, which was broken in like 15 ways, this one's broken even more in like 15 ways.
Yeah, this cannon skip's rough. It's really rough.
It's the hardest trick in run, to my knowledge.
I wouldn't quite say that, but maybe.
There's like...
Depends on what strats you do.
I just find it kind of funny how like the original B3 was already like the most famously cheesed thing in Extreme Edition, and then in this hack it has like there's like 5 ways to skip cannon here. Like this cannon is so skippable that I accidentally found a way to do it just playing the game casually. Secondary cannon, this is great by the way. It's just an inherently broken section.
The star course to really serve as practice for these slopes.
Ooh, close.
No, it's fine. Still got time. Plenty of time.
Based walkie.
Thirsty. There.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
Hole in one.
So long, you Bowser.
15 minutes of filler. I would offer to do something if it wasn't 3:30. Like, I need to go to bed after this, but like...
So long, you Bowser.
Looping gif of Bowser spins.
So long, you Bowser.
Nice, 3 for 3 on those stars. And time's coming up on star grab, just as same as vanilla star timing. And time. GG.
You wanna read the final notes?
Sure, let me pull them up real quick. Alright. Oh, you sure you don't want to read it, Tala? This seems like...
Well, yeah. So, this was my last run of the marathon. I had to do bounce stages early because my RL was very bad. And I advise you not to switch over because this hack has complete credits. Thanks to another hack that was run before, Super Mario Stellato, made by Rulu183. That has complete credits, and Crash used, I think I saw what they did to make the hack, and this hack has a complete credit sequence and it is custom. It has things changed, so I bet you want to see them. So I don't know what else to say except thank you for being here. Thank you Dolfino and Maria for commentating. And we can send the best wishes for Crash because he was sick and he couldn't join us, but he's doing well. So I'll leave you to
And it's all thanks to you. Thank you, Mario.
to watch the credits if I'm not caught up straight away. So thank you again. I'll see you in the next one.
Here we go!
Alright, thank you, Tala. That was an amazing run.
Yeah, Tala, incredible, completely crushing estimate.
Yeah, pretty decent run. Thanks Crash, best wishes for you. So yeah, pretty good run. I mean the estimate was pretty safe considering I submitted when I first started doing runs, so not me, Pluro, Crash, Pluro. Not me, Dolfino.